Yo, what's going on, everyone? Who's back again once again. This time I just wanted to talk to you guys about EVO. I just got home. I'm a little tired, so that's kind of why I sound like this, and I probably look a little disheveled if I look disheveled. I'm going to basically make this as raw as possible with little to no edits. I'm sure I will be putting in some clips and images and whatnot, but besides that, I just wanted to get this out there so that way you guys could maybe share your stories in the comments sooner, and I can hear back from how your experiences were, if you were at EVO, if you weren't at EVO. But let me just get right into it. So pretty much EVO this year was pretty fun. I went with the fiance. She came with me for her second big event ever. I don't know why she wanted to go to EVO in the first place, because she's never gone to events, and this being the biggest one out of the entire year is kind of crazy. But to say the least, I'm pretty sure she had some fun too. Now, the thing is with EVO, naturally, there's a lot of walking. It's a very big space, very big venue, and there's a lot of things to do. And the weird part about it, and I guess I'll start off by saying this, is that there's so much to do that I think in a sense it's a con and not a pro. You might be wondering, like, yo, that's kind of crazy. Like, why would you even say that? It doesn't even make any sense. But hear me out. I think EVO needs to be more than just 3 days. This is the first year that they have had day 3 open for the main like convention, if you will, like all the vendors and artist alley and all that, all the setups for people to just play and run their BYOC. That stuff was still open, and again, first time in like EVO history, which is really cool, because usually it's just finals for EVO Sunday. Everyone just goes and jam packs in the arena, which, by the way, this year they decided to do a completely custom look of an arena, but it wasn't really an arena. It housed 10,000, but apparently there was like 20,000 people in total attendance. So unfortunately, I was one of those folks that was not able to watch EVO finals on Sunday live in person, and I've been going to EVO since 2018, so take that for what you will. So I'm proposing that EVO needs to be like 5 days, because realistically, there's so much to do, and there's so many things that I would have loved to have checked out. They had City of the Wolves, they had Sparking Zero, they had 2XKO, and obviously the Marvelous Capcom Collection, which as a Capcom creator myself, I was able to, of course, get hands-on privately in a booth within a room, away from everything else, which was kind of crazy in and of itself. I could talk about more on that later. And then I got to actually stream from the Capcom booth, which is probably the highlight of my entire event, because let's face it, I am a very proud Capcom creator. It's a very full circle moment. I am always going to be grateful for being on that team, and I've been loving Capcom games ever since I was literally born. So it still means a lot to me, and I hold that very high, and I do not take that for granted. And the fact that I was able to stream from their booth in like an air-conditioned, centralized, the whole stream layout, all of the equipment was there and ready for me. I didn't even need to use my own controller. Was beautiful. So really big thanks to Capcom. Again, I cannot thank them enough. They're probably annoyed with me at this point because of how many times I've thanked them, like how many hands I shook, and like I just wanted to like hug everybody, but you know, personal space. But either way, like I said, back to my original point, is that there were so many other cool things that I wanted to experience. And obviously with filming for Telem FGC, along with entering like a few brackets and having my involvement with Capcom, there wasn't a lot of time within the last 72 hours that I realistically had to, you know, stand in line for this game, stand in line for that game, or to, you know, just get any kind of time on anything. And let me not forget that the arcade section, I think its biggest in its entirety being at EVO, there was like well over 100 games in the arcade section alone. Like, it was a legit arcade, and I played like one beat 'em up that I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even remember the name. It was really fun, but that was the only game that I played. And I heard that there was like some crazy Mobile Suit Gundam, you sit in a cockpit type game and you're going around as a mech and you're shooting around, and I'm like, dude, that was there and I didn't get to experience it. And the same thing with all the lines and everything. I mean, the vendors like Tenno and even the official EVO merch, they had lines, and I was on a line for Tenno, and I was like, you know what? I don't even have time to be on this line. So I had to leave, and I couldn't even see any of the merch that was a part of Tenno. So I'm saying all this not to like go on like a whole long rant, but I'm trying to emphasize that I think, and it might sound crazy, but I really do think that EVO needs to be like 5 days. And not for anything, people show up like on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and whatnot, like they're hella early. So like, why not just do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, badge pickup is on Thursday, and all the vendors and whatnot get to set up early and everything. But to be completely honest, I really feel like to maximize your time and to maximize everything that you may want to try and do, I feel like it would be a lot easier and you'd get more for your buck if you were able to have all that time allotted, so that way you can divvy up like, yo, this day I'm gonna make sure that I dedicate time standing on the line for however long I have to do, for Sparking Zero, for 2xKO, for City of the Wolves, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like I was upset that I didn't get to play any of those other games. I did get to play 2xKO, but I didn't get to try out Sparking Zero, and I did not get to try out City of the Wolves, unfortunately. So but yeah, as always, EVO is again still really cool. I mean, really quick, just to talk about like my performance competitively was actually surprising. Street Fighter 6, I went 2-2, which is like normal. I usually like don't make it out of pools, which is a goal of mine. I'm really trying to get better and continuously improve, and to, you know, just see how far I can take this, because not for anything, guys, we all love fighting games, and fighting games has been a part of me for the day I was born. I was put in front of Street Fighter 2 as a baby. I couldn't even walk. I probably couldn't even talk, but I have a vivid memory of literally seeing my dad playing on the Super Nintendo, seeing Ryu on his stage, and from that moment forward, I carried that memory until I could speak and literally figure out that, yes, I wanted to play Street Fighter. So with that, I will naturally always want to improve my game, you know, because it's the dream, man. You know, seeing dudes like Punk and anyone else that has had that time to shine, literally perform and show off their skills in whatever game that it is, that's a godlike thing. You know, that's really cool to even strive for. And even in today's day, and how old I am and how busy I'm getting, and how life is just kind of, to quote Cody Rhodes, like the goalpost continues to just get pushed back, forward and forward and forward. You know, like even despite all that, is still something that I still think about a lot, and I really do want to make more of that. And I'm obviously heavily involved with the fighting game community in all aspects. I've been a tournament organizer for well over a decade, commentary for over a decade, and as a competitor, I mean, I've been competing for as long as I can remember. You know, even back during my Smash days and whatnot. And, you know, I'm bringing all this up because I feel like it's important to note that EVO really does bring that out of you. It helps you remember all of the goals and dreams and aspirations that you might think are dead, but realistically, they're just dormant. You just have to wake them up. And when you're watching, you're seeing all the people there, and you're seeing like the crowd, and having these players with their moments, and they getting these big wins and the upsets and whatnot. I mean, not gonna lie, even when I have my support system behind me, where Crystal's there, my friends are there, my team is there, and they're literally just watching me play, supporting me, just trying to help me get through those times, it means a lot. But even now, it's a bittersweet thing, because at the same time, it's like, damn, like whenever I take that L, I don't even want to make eye contact with anybody, because it's almost like embarrassing. It's like, shit, I let down all of you guys again, right? So I don't want that. I want to get off that chair proud and, you know, happy with how I perform. So like I said, 2-2 in Street Fighter 6. Oddly enough, in Third Strike, I went 5-2. Don't know how that happened, But hey, sometimes when you're playing a really good neutral, it can do good things for you, I guess. I lost to a Urian player, and that would have been the match that, had I won that, I actually would have made it out of pools. So to commemorate that, I actually bought myself a Third Strike Ken shirt from N2. I don't have it with me. It was actually a pre-order item. So more on that in a future update video, I guess. I don't know if you guys really even care about that, but I did want to get something to as some sort of memorabilia, so that I can remember that, yo, yeah, like at EVO, I went 5-2. That's like the best record I've ever had in any game that I've ever competed in, which is crazy to think. Aside from that, my boy Sundula wanted me to team up with him in Diesel Legacy, which is a game that's not even out yet. That's coming out later in this year in December. Very fun game, 2D game that almost looks like it's a beat 'em up fighter, but realistically it's just 3 planes that you can just kind of move around in, and when you're using the button to dash, it really does make the mobility of the game very fluid looking and whatnot, and very seamless, and it's very fun. It's a 2v2 type of fighter. I'm sure you could do 1v1, I'm sure you could do free-for-alls, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to compare this to Smash, but realistically this is not a platform fighter. This is a fighter, a straight up fighter with 2v2 mechanics and whatnot. Very fun game. Out of 15 teams, we got 4th. So again, 1 away from making it into the money, but unfortunately we fell short. We had a weird interaction towards the end, and even the people that won were just like, what just happened? So I don't know. But either way, guys, yeah, and then I got 3rd in Battle for the Grid, but we don't have to talk about that because 3rd out of 4 people, I ain't gotta say nothing. So yeah, aside from all of the competition, and like I said earlier, I did a lot of filming for Tellum FGC, which is obviously, if you guys are watching this from that, or you haven't checked it out, please go onto the channel and find those videos. I literally spent a month working on the CEO video, and at the time of this recording, it had like 1.2 thousand views, which is great. I'm like, whoa, like, okay, like that's great, that's really cool. You know, nowadays people don't have attention spans, so it's like, oh, you gotta make everything short. But you know what? Sometimes when you make something of quality, of that length, people will stay and they will watch, and that's really what matters. So thank you guys for checking it out, and if you haven't already, go ahead and check that out. It's a really fun and entertaining perspective at the fighting game community that I'm trying to bring forth, and to kind of show off people's, you know, personalities and whatnot, and just to give different perspectives based on the questions that I do ask people. So it's a fun time, and hope you guys do enjoy that. But like I said, aside from, you know, filming content for Tellum, you know, getting to see the friends that I usually only ever see at these events is always one of the favorite things that I look forward to, the highlights, if you will. You know, seeing people that I normally only see every now and then, like I said, at these events, does mean a lot, and you know, it does invigorate me to continue to pursue this, you know, lifestyle, this career that I want for myself. You know, to just, you know, to be not just a content creator, because I feel like that's such a pigeonhole term. Like, I just want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be that guy that is known for doing this. You know, like, I'm not just a one size fit all, or I'm not just a one trick pony. Like, I'm out here doing the thing. You know, you'll see me doing content, but then you see me on the sticks. You know what I'm saying? You'll see me like interviewing somebody, but then you'll see me like hosting, or you know what I'm saying? Like, the possibilities are always endless. Potential is always up there, and you know, like, why not both, or why not all? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just trying to maximize my fun and my experiences, I guess, is the best way to put it. So ran into Xavier Woods, a homie of mine, Austin Creed, obviously. And a weird thing, I kept getting harassed in a weird way. I don't mean to like alarm anybody, but I was wearing, I like to wear tank tops, right? And that's normally because, again, it's hot, right? Especially in the summer, the tanks are coming out, all right? There's no shame in that. And yes, I work out, I exercise, but man, I really feel like people was gassing me up way too hard. And I'm like, y'all need to relax. And it was so bad, even the security guards was literally telling me, like, yo, man, share some of them shits with me. You know, no, stop it. enough, right? That shit was it was OD. And I'm like really awkward when it comes to that. Like, I don't know how to take compliments. I really don't. So I guess if people were actually complimenting me, thank you, but I don't know, it was just really weird. But yeah, anyways, aside from all of everything that I'm saying, you know, EVO was really dope. I didn't get to experience finals on the last day, but I did get to see Third Strike on Saturday, and that was the only time that I was actually in the arena for that. I wanted to make sure I checked out Top 6 and to check out the Street Fighter 2 animated feature watch party that was hosted by Yipes and Tasty Steve. They did live commentary while the movie was playing, and that was also brought to us by Crunchyroll, so shout outs to them. And it was a really fun experience, you know, getting to watch that movie again, like on a huge ass screen with live mic commentary from Yikes and Steve. So it was sick, right? But the biggest highlight of the entire event, Hayao. I will admit, I never heard of him before this EVO, but he is now my favorite player of all time, free. He brings an energy and a mood that I think, not even just I think, I know is heavily needed in this community. This is what the FGC needs. A lot of people ask, are we mainstream? Are we there yet? Are we household names? Are we, you know, are we up there with like the League of Legends and the Call of Duties and whatnot? The answer I have to that is, well, I think if we are to ever want to be in those types of positions and conversations in general, I think we need ways and moments and experiences that will transcend just the normal, amazing, competitive gameplay. And we need personalities like that. That's who's gonna push us through and get exposure and the attention that we all want even more and faster. So that's my answer to that. But yeah, dude, Hayao was awesome. He was such a performer. He was as good as he was in the game with Hugo, mind you, as he was in person. Like, this guy was so animated. He was celebrating every little victory, looking at the camera. This is the type of shit, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not trying to just put myself out there, but listen, this is the kind of stuff that I would do. But again, I'm not good at all, so that I don't get those opportunities. But shout outs to Hayao, shout outs to Third Strike, you know, shout outs to all the staff at EVO that brought the game as a main title. I really hope that Third Strike continues to get the love and support that it did at this event, because it got over 1,000 entrants, and I was one of those entrants, and I'm very happy and proud to have been one of those entrants. But I'm also even more proud that it even happened in that way in general. The only cons I really want to say, aside from like not being able to experience everything and whatnot, like I was mentioning earlier, is really just stuff that kind of happened like outside of EVO, which I guess is not, I mean, it's not really their fault, but it's something to note when and if they are going to stay at this venue for future events. The Westgate, not a great hotel, not a great experience. The first 2 days, we were constantly getting harassed by people that were trying to sell us timeshares. And it was so annoying, a huge waste of time. And literally, like, we didn't fall for anything. Like, we didn't have to stay for some 90-minute presentation just to get a free breakfast. Like, bro, like, we're here for fighting games. We're here to like do all this stuff with fighting games, around fighting games. I'm not trying to like stay in this hotel for any longer than I have to, especially for some freaking timeshare, right? And then apparently, like, in our shower, there was mold growing. And then on top of that, there was a huge ass cockroach literally in our bathroom. And I'm gonna show you guys a picture and a little video footage right here, because, you know, I'm not trying to make this up, and I would never make something up like this, because even though the room was super nice that we were in, shout outs to my team Dynamic Focus, specifically Aziza for making it all happen. That shit's crazy. And then on top of that, the wildest shit that went down at this crazy hotel is the fact that we went out, we tried to do the smart thing and get groceries so that we could kind of save a little bit of money on food, because obviously everything's expensive in Vegas. And we went to Walmart, came back with, you know, some essentials, But it was a lot, you know, had some cases of water in there. So just off of that alone, it's like, okay, like we're not trying to lug all this stuff by hand. You know, naturally, let's get a cart, let's get a bellman or whatever to help us out. I was literally told, go talk to this person, go talk to this person, then finally go talk to this guy. And the dude literally was just like, yeah, nah, we work off of tips, can't help you. Take that for what you will. Because I mean, naturally, if they were looking to get tipped, I don't see what the problem would have been, so that he could have helped us bring up all the stuff to the room, but that didn't happen. He refused service, and I don't really know why. Maybe I do. Either way, it was a really shit experience when it came to that. I definitely would not recommend the Westgate if we're gonna be here for EVO next year. Try to book at any of the other hotels if you can. Maybe by the time next year things change. I mean, they have a whole year to, like, you know, make sure their staff is acting right and, you know, whatever. But that's pretty much it, guys. If there's anything else that I guess would want to talk about, I guess just catch me on stream. I'm usually on streams Mondays and Fridays in the mornings, because that's when I have my days off. If there's ever an opportunity that I'm able to sneak a stream in at night during the week, then definitely want to be following me on Twitter for those updates, or just join my Discord, or both, you know, if you really want to be a real one. And yeah, man, EVO was great. It reminded me of a lot. Big shout outs to all my friends, like I said. Shout outs to Cliff Dog, shout outs to Dula, shout outs to my man 24, shout outs to Shaq and Herman and Steady and Jadelyn and Jonesy and Swerve and like everybody. Dynamic Focus, my team, Aziza, my boy Lionheart with the double Ryans. Big shout outs. Big shout outs. Obviously to my fiance Crystal, that's a given. Big shout out to her, because, you know, she don't like walking a lot, and there was a lot of walking, and she trucked it out. So definitely big shouts to everybody. I can't wait for next year. But what's coming up on this channel, you can expect more. Tell them FGC. I'll be working on the next video. I don't know how long that's gonna take me. It shouldn't take me as long as the last video, but nonetheless, look out for those. And I'll definitely be putting out like shorter versions and little clips from the CEO video and this video all throughout the coming months. And I definitely want to start doing way more fighting game content, just video game content in general. I do have footage, let me not forget this, I do have footage of my hands-on experience with the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. And if you missed out on the stream, you can definitely check out the VOD on my Twitch, obviously. But the footage of the games I was able to play with my boy Herman, shout outs. Whew, we had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I cannot wait for that game to drop. And also, SNK vs. Capcom SVC Chaos. Hello? Surprise? That game is out now. I already have it. Don't worry. A lot of things to look forward to. Oh, and big shouts to my boy Johnny Cage. Listen, I cannot forget my man's sweet Johnny Cage. He's probably going to get the biggest shout out right now, because realistically, and I know he hates when I do this. I'm sorry, Johnny, if you're watching this. But if there was no Johnny Cage, there would be no UchiGames. There'd be no Uchi Gang. There would be none of this me shit at all. So the fact that I love having these full circle moments, he got me basically into content. He got me into the fighting game community. He got me started literally on everything. It all roots back to him. I finally had him on Tell Him, which I'm, you know, I guess that's a little spoiler, but, you know, he's on the show. And the fact that he was there, he's there with me to, you know, share some time at EVO, and for him to like just be as supportive as he is. Like he is not just like a role model, he's like a big brother to me, you know what I'm saying? So big shouts to sweet Johnny Cage. And yes, I will get back to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I will, but there's a lot on my plate as per usual. But my next event is not, I don't think it's until East Coast Throwdown, funny enough, which is not until October. So I do have some time. We got, you know, the rest of July, August, September, boom. So a lot of things to look forward to, guys. And, you know, if you stayed this long for this update video, you guys are real ones too. I do appreciate that. If you want to hear more of these types of videos, these little breakdowns, these raw edited videos, whatever, you know, minimal editing, whatever, I don't know. Let me know, because I do like interacting with you guys. That's like, you know, one of the main reasons why I love doing this. And yeah, man, EVO was great. It reminded me of a lot of things, and I look forward to the future. And I have to make it out of pools. I want to get to that level. That's the next big goal. So appreciate y'all. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves as always, and may the power protect you. Keep it locked, right here on this channel. Stay safe, stay clean, stay on the side. I'll see y'all